The story of John Rambo began 6 years ago with First Blood. Sylvester Stallone starred as the Vietnam veteran who turned to his mentor, Colonel Troutman, when he had trouble with a world that wouldn't accept him.
They drew first blood, not me.
Let me come in and get you the hell out of there.
They drew first blood.
The relationship between Rambo and Troutman, played by Richard Crenna, was strengthened in Rambo First Blood Part 2 as they joined forces in the blockbuster action film.
Do we get to win this time?
Yeah. Right, stand by to shoot.
Now, in Rambo III, the two men take on a new assignment.
And here we go now, and...
While in Afghanistan delivering supplies, Troutman is captured.
Roll the camera!
Rambo must rescue his comrade, and the two faced a test of their ultimate strength, their friendship.
Action! Action! Action!
He wants to live and die for a good cause. And his cause is never military. His cause is getting people, oppressed people out. That's his specialty.
And he's in a monastery in Thailand even in the beginning of the film. Would you like to do a thing like that, get away from it all and be maybe in a monastery in Thailand or something like that?
You know, I wouldn't mind it for about an hour. I think it would be great.
What about the stunts in the film? How much have you done that yourself? Like I was thinking of those horseback scenes where you pick up the sheep and, you know, throwing it into that hole there.
In the well.
Right. How much are you involved there on the stunt, those sort of stunt scenes?
At this time, I did about 95% of the stunts. I was in a kind of like a very depressed mood when I did the movie. My private life was kind of depressing. So it was just one of those things. I said, you know, if this is the last movie I do, and since it's so difficult, I want it to be realistic. And you know, sometimes you get in those very dark moods, and you just say, I don't care. And I went for it. And I don't know if I would do it again, but at that time, sitting in the Mideast, kind of depressed, was you know, not very much fun.
Is that where you could take these grueling scenes in the mountains there at the Dead Sea? A lot of the recording was done in a mountain in the Dead Sea, and it was pretty hot and not the best conditions.
130 degrees. It was brutal. But you get, you know, you just get into it. It's amazing. Like if you sat there and you started thinking like this man, you just click into it and it doesn't bother you. People say, why aren't you tired? Why don't you get hot? Why don't you sweat? You're like into a whole different...
So you're really associating with the character.
You have to.
This mission's important, John. Do you really think we're going to make a difference?
If I didn't, I wouldn't be going.
It didn't before.
That was another time. Come with me, John.
I don't know what you think about this place, but I like it. I like being here. I like working here. I like belonging to something.
You do belong to something, not this. When are you going to come full circle?
What are you talking about?
You said that your war is over. Maybe the one out there is, but not the one inside you. I know the reasons you're here, John, but it doesn't work that way. You may try, but you can't get away from what you really are.
And what do you think I am?
A full-blooded combat soldier.
Not anymore. I don't want it.
That's too bad, because you're stuck with it. You're always going to be tearing away at yourself until you come to terms with what you are. Until you come full circle.
Rambo.
What happened?
Soviets intercepted the team just over the border. From what we've gathered, Troutman and the rest of his party have been taken to a regional command post.
What about me?
What about you?
Can you get me in?
Is he going to be like America's answer to 007, the continuation?
No, he couldn't. He couldn't do that. He's not, in a sense, charming enough. Also, there's something that happens when violence is done, and it's done for like they do a joke with it. That's not. I don't like that. I think someone gets killed or someone gets run over, and they just you know, then it's like. It works. It makes money for some people, like Beverly Hills Cop. 10 people get shot, and then he'll do a joke, and it's okay. I shoot 10 people in a movie, and I make it serious. You go, that's violence. See what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So Rambo could never be like James Bond and charming, because I tried to show that it's a, you know, war stinks. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And the only people that really get anything out of it are the generals and the professional soldiers. The poor man, the poor fellows that were students, whatever, had to go fight. They're the ones that have to suffer because they don't want to be in the military. These other people, they do it for a living. That's their job. You know, they say, "Oh, war. Thank you, great."
Yeah. How do you keep fit yourself?
It's been hard to do it on this tour, but I work out just about every day and mainly watch what I eat. You know, that's the main thing. What you eat.
John, get out of here! Get the hell out of here! Dorogie tam! Generator! Bыстро!
Michael Jackson's been here at the same time as you. Do you think
Yeah,
that
people always think we get mistakes. Says, "Hey, Mike," I know it all the time.
Do you tend to live like him though? You know, we get this impression that he's totally cut off from the outside world, and because you have your bodyguards and all that. Do you feel sometimes that you're not allowed to, you know, live like ordinary people?
No, I go. No, there is problems. I mean, there are security problems, but like as soon as I leave here, I walk the streets. You know, it's totally different. Michael has this thing. You know, he likes his little private world, and that's good. I mean, that's what makes him happy. What makes me happy is to get out and move, and touch and think and talk and whatever. And I get a lot of ideas. Sometimes it can be a pain in the ass, but overall it's nice. What
sort of music do you listen to? Do you listen to his music, for example?
Oh yeah, finally the last 3 weeks of Rambo, I got his bad tape, so it was nice because, you know, in the morning, you know, warm up, you know, you need that to get going. So I'd say Michael had a little part of Rambo somewhere, a little minor contribution.
Закладывайся немедленно. Спецназ. Закладывайся.
Are you listening?
Who are you?
Your worst nightmare.
What sort of films do you look at?
What sort of films? I tend to like, well, I'll go for everything from, like, say, my favorite year, which is a comedy with Peter O'Toole, to heavy drama. I like action films because they're so hard to do. An action film that doesn't work is terrible. I mean, it's very tricky because you don't have dialogue. And if the editing and everything doesn't work in the music, it just goes flat. It's very tricky. People think it's easy. It's not. Because, you know, you have to fill the whole thing with movement, energy. And it takes time. It's very hard. I'd like to just do a movie like where you and me, we sit here for 3 hours and have coffee. Say thank you, and that's it.
I'll say thank you very much, Sylvester.
Thank you. It's great.
Thanks.
Very good. Bye-bye.
You go on ahead. See if you can find some cover.